Welcome back to DreamHack Winter 2012 and to the Logitech CSGO Championship for €40,000. My name's Paul Redeye. Alongside me is Corey Dunn and, of course, Lurppis, the one and only, as we've called him all weekend. And also joining us is Xizt from NIP as well. We're going to review day one of the CSGO tournament. Group A and Group B are in the history books, but we're going to run through it and show you a few clips and talk them through. Xizt, welcome to the show. Congratulations on going through. You guys were pretty much asleep and still managed to win 3 games.
We weren't asleep. Mouseport were really good. They surprised us, and it was a tight game.
So, how do you think the groups have panned out, the first 2 groups that you've seen, Group A and Group B? You've been watching some of the games, I assume.
Yeah, we were watching the other group playing, and it was kind of expected for the teams to go through. The Brazilians and what's the other team? I forgot.
Gosu? Copenhagen Wolves?
Yeah, Copenhagen
Which
Wolves,
one went through, or?
Yeah, they went through.
Yeah,
it was expected for me, yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Corey? Do you agree that these guys were asleep and still managed 3 wins, or do you think they were closer run today than they were perhaps at ESWC?
Well, I think right off the bat, they had probably one of the easier runs. I mean, you faced off against Fnatic in the beginning. I mean, in terms of Counter-Strike 1.6, if this was the case, it would have been a really great matchup. But with Fnatic coming in here, this is their first real go, if you will, at this tournament. I know that they placed, they got qualified here for the DreamHack event, but how did they play in that first matchup against you guys?
I know Fnatic because I played there for a long time, and I play with 4 of them, so I know how good they can be. And they surprised me, and they were really good individually. And if they play more, they can become really good as they were in 1.6.
Did you see any of the trick shots that they were putting off as well? Did you see the double boost that they did on mid doors?
No, I didn't.
Ah, yeah. Maybe one for the demo.
Maybe I should look on the demo.
Maybe one for the demo, yeah.
They definitely invented a boost in middle of Dust too, where they boosted Gaio, where you would boost on top of the middle doors, and you're going to take a quick shot in there. He killed.
I think we did the same. Some tournaments. 2 tournaments back, I think.
Oh,
Forest.
okay.
Well, it's already been done.
So that was new for me.
It's already been done. It's already old. Let's move on.
Were you surprised at how easily you guys, well, just about everybody defeated ESC? Because I kind of figured they would have improved from ESWC. They already look kind of decent there. I know you guys ran over them online, but ESC's never been good online.
I think they were kind of down, so to say, in the last game because they lost 2 first, so they didn't have much to play for, so they were just depressed and running around. So yeah.
Well, I mean, what did you think about them in the first games, though? You must have taken them as favorites over Fnatic, at least.
Yeah, I was expecting the Polish guys to come second in the group after us, and it was kind of surprising to Fnatic to beat them, actually, considering how much Fnatic played compared to the Polish.
Yeah.
So, just looking at the playoffs, I know Very Games is like your obvious #1 competitor as of now, based on all the previous tournaments. Who would be the next team behind them who you would think would put up the closest fight against you from the other groups that are going to be played tomorrow?
It's kind of hard to say because I haven't played so many teams yet. Mouseport, they were really good actually, and I think we can play them in the playoffs, maybe even in the finals.
Really? Do you think Mouseport could go that far?
Yeah, they surprised me. They were really good tactic-wise and individually.
Because this guy doesn't rate them at all. He thinks they're rubbish. Just throwing that out there right now.
Yeah,
you've read the preview on HFT.org. Go and check it. This man said they finished 4th. I said rubbish. Well, they'll finish higher than that. They'll get through. He then starts saying I said they were solid. I never said they were solid. I said they were good. Not great.
What's really interesting, too, I mean, you bring up the fact that they're a good team, and it makes sense because it was 16-14 on Mirage. What kind of happened during that matchup that ended up being 16-14?
And that's your map, right?
What?
That's your map. You've never been beaten
I don't know.
on Mirage.
We lost the map online, actually, some
days
days ago.
Online, that doesn't count.
I think we had the map in our bag pretty early. We were leading 15-10 or something, but we couldn't just finish the game, and yeah.
Okay. It's interesting, though. I find that really interesting about the Mouseport stuff, because we've generally had a bit of banter going on. But yeah, generally, I didn't think they were that good. But you've played them, so it's good to hear. It's good to hear that they put up a good fight. What did you think of the 2 new additions, the Norwegians? Was
Norwegians?
Stinger, yeah, was Stinger?
I played with PRB some gathers in 1.6. I know he's really good, and I played against him really much, and I hate playing against him online because he's really good. And obviously he's good on LAN too. Yeah. And Stinger, I haven't played him so much. I know he played Source last times, and yeah, he's good too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's interesting because actually what happened in Group A was it pretty much came down to one match. We're going to take some highlights now between Mousesport and of course that last match with Fnatic, because effectively it was down to those two teams as to which one also qualified through Group A with this guy's NIP. The Ninjas were through, but who else were going to join them? Let's show you some clips now from earlier on today in that final Group A game, Mouse Sports versus Fnatic.
Struggled in the beginning.
Oh, there we go. We've got
because
audio back as well.
you had Fnatic right off the start in the pistol round, taking things. But MX played extremely well. Rattlesnake, he wasn't playing at the level that he was against NIP, but he was playing decently well. Stinger, though, in fact, was playing extremely well. Really
aggressive, really, you know, picking the frags up when they were really important. But you're right, MX on here on the screen. This is when they were 3-0 down. It was their first gun round of the game. And really, they had to win this, otherwise that was it. They were pretty much done and dusted for the next two as well. Such a big factor with that. With the money system as well, meant that they would just be effectively 5-0 down, no problem at all. So, had to win this one. I'm not sure quite.
If I might recall, one of the rounds coming in for MX, for Mouse Sports here, ended up in a 4K round where he just completely went all out. So I'm going to have to ask you right now, Xizt, how has it been adapting to the recoil of that M4, and have you really would say that you've mastered it at this point?
I really like playing with the M4. I prefer playing it over the AK sometimes. I have learned to control the recoil pretty good in this game so far.
Do you miss the silencer though?
Sorry?
Do you miss the silencer?
Yeah, I hope they add it soon. I love the silencer.
I still keep pressing the button. Why is it? Oh, I haven't got one. But as you can see, that
was the gun round where MX did pick up those 4 kills.
Yeah, so this is a bit later on in the game. We were 7 rounds in at this point. Fnatic had lost 3 in a row and then pulled one back to 4-3. And as you can see, this is through the smoke into the B bomb site. Modi making his way forward with a couple of players just to the left-hand side of him to try and get into this B bomb site, and all sorts of grenade craziness going on. Gives us a chance actually to talk about the changes to the Molotov and the incendiary grenades. And the fact that you can now put them out with a smoke. But I haven't seen a huge amount of it today. I've seen a lot of people go, oh, damn, those bloody Molotovs. Why? And I've seen one guy from Curse just stand in a corner and, like, please don't burn me, and he burnt alive when he could have just thrown the smoke down. It would have put it out. Why do you think that is? Is it still too new, the change?
I don't know. I never put smokes in Molotovs. I just run through them because you don't get slowed now, so you lose like 30 HP if you run through them. So it's not a big deal anymore for me.
Okay, so you think, is it because they've removed that speed problem?
Yeah,
makes it okay now?
It helped a lot. And I think they removed the damage some if you have armor, the armor penetration of the fire somehow.
Yeah, I mean, that was really annoying before. It was almost doubly annoying going, and trying to get out of there.
Yeah, I think you can stay in a Molotov and shoot now as well. You don't get like, flinch, your crosshair don't flinch.
So, would you agree, this is probably a funny one, but do you agree that anyone that gets killed by a Molotov from now on is an idiot?
Yeah.
Ouch.
I never buy it.
Right here on the after show at DreamHack, Xizt says anyone that gets killed by a Molotov from now on is an idiot. Official.
So during this game, we had the chance to see the boost there inside of mid, but also Freeze was playing extremely well in this game with the AWP, but against you guys in your matchup, he was really struggling. Did you pick up on that really quickly?
Not really. I know he had a lot of problems with his PC, like his sound was dying and he had FPS drops. At least that was what they told me, yeah.
You guys are pretty random though, aren't you?
Random?
Yeah. In terms of strats.
Yeah, really random.
You look at your strats in the demos and I go, yeah, I've got it. No, I have no idea what they're doing. No, I thought I did, but now I don't.
I'm telling Forrest, you go B, Adam, you go long, for example, and Get Right, you stay behind in camp and win the round.
Does it help having a guy like Get Right who can just go and roam around and kill everyone?
Yeah, it helps.
He's crazy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, that's when we get to our point when we get into the overview map and it just looks like a bunch of squiggles on the screen and we're just going, well, that's what they did. Yeah. Whether you can figure out what they did, I don't know.
That was a 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 4, 5 split.
That's where the multicolors come into play.
Yeah, okay, so that's the end of the clips right now. As far as the Fnatic versus Mouse Sports game, which eventually, of course, Mouse Sports won 16-14, which sounds like a really close score, but it really wasn't that close, Lurppis, was it?
I'd say it was that close. I mean,
it was.
It ended up, what, 15-11 or 15-12 maybe, when Mousesports got their 15th and they knew they were going to advance. But for a while there, it looked like Fnatic could have run away with it. They were up 12-9 at one point, and they had full money control. There were a couple close rounds that I know Freeze missed a couple of shots in window. And had he hit them, that might have been different. But, you know, that's usually the difference between winning and losing. It's a couple things. When you win, you could always say there were a couple things. If we lost, we probably would have gone out. And then when you lose, there's always a couple things you can think of. Or, oh, change that, hit that one shot, maybe we win. But that's how competition works. It's the little things that set you apart.
It certainly is, and that's why Ninjas in Pyjamas have safely gone through to the quarterfinals, which the first off will be tomorrow. We don't know who they'll play right now because we've got a group draw to make tomorrow as well. It's not going to be seed versus seed. It's going to be top versus the second place team, but it is done on a random draw. We'll bring that draw to you live right here from DreamHack Winter as well. For now, thank you, Xizt, for coming onto the program. Good luck tomorrow. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll have another special guest star, so don't go too far.